Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and today I'm going to show you how to boost your FPS within Rainbow Six Siege. I made a video a while back about 7 settings to get instant improvement within Rainbow Six Siege. Some of them will reoccur in this video, but some won't. Obviously, starting with the settings in-game, let's go to options. Obviously, if you want the best performance, you're going to want to put everything on low. Pretty self-explanatory. If you want to get the best FPS, I recommend playing 4:3 aspect ratio to get the best FPS, and also it can give you a competitive advantage. There's not really too much in-game that can boost your FPS, but that is the most simple stuff. Now if we head out of the game, okay, so if you go to your R6 game at the bottom here, right click, and then it should say Rainbow Six. Right click here again, click on properties. I've gone through this a few times, but make sure the game is open. Compatibility, make sure disable full screen optimizations is checked, so make sure to check that. Then go into change high DPI settings, override high DPI scaling behavior. Make sure this is checked, so check that. Okay, apply. Okay, that you may already know. Okay, for the next thing, we're gonna go to here and type in this PC. So if you type in this, it should already come up. Right click this, go to properties, then on the left hand side go to advanced system settings. Once this is open, go to advanced. There should be a tab within this tab called performance. Go to settings, and then you pretty much want to turn everything off instead of show thumbnails instead of icons. You can turn that off as well, but I just prefer having thumbnails instead of icons. But most of this stuff you can turn on. If your text goes weird and you don't like it, you can turn this back on. Smooth edges of screen fonts. So if you turn it all off and the text goes funny, you can turn this one on, but I turn it off just to boost my FPS just a tad bit more. The next one is right clicking the taskbar at the bottom, go to task manager, then go to the tab called startup. Once you are here, just make sure to disable things that you don't want to start up with the computer. This makes it so the PC doesn't put in the hard work of opening unnecessary programs that shouldn't be running when playing your games. So just turn off anything here that you don't normally use. The next thing to do is make sure that your drivers are up to date. So if you, or GeForce I should say, my bad, GeForce Experience, go to drivers on the left hand side, and then it should say check for updates. If you click on this, it should say, okay, you have the latest GeForce game ready drivers. So mine is up to date, but just make sure your driver is up to date. It's very important, and not a lot of people do it. So once your drivers are up to date, make sure your Windows is up to date. So if you type in Windows or Windows update settings, open this and just make sure your updates. So updates paused and then resume updates. I'm not going to do that now because I am making a video, but make sure your Windows is fully up to date, and that could fix a couple of problems. The next simple one is going to game mode settings. Now some people have this off, but if you have the latest version of Windows, you can have this on. A couple updates ago with Windows, this should be off since it wasn't that good and people were having issues, but I believe they updated it, and now having this on should fix like stuttering problems and boost your FPS. So having that on, and even if it's not good, I haven't noticed a massive difference between on and off. So just leaving that on shouldn't be a problem, but you should have that on. However, if you go to game bar on the left hand side, you should have this off. However, make sure game bar is off but game mode is on, so make sure not to get those mixed around. Next up is if you go to your Discord. So if you do use Discord whilst playing, I recommend, if you do want the best FPS, to Like, don't use Discord when playing if you do want the best FPS, but if you are talking to people, make sure to go to Discord, make sure to go to, but I think it's appearance, yeah, go to appearance, scroll all the way to the bottom, make sure hardware acceleration is off, so make sure to turn that off. Okay, so if you go on your Google, to go to the top 3 dots in the top right, then go to settings. Once you are in the settings, scroll all the way to the bottom, go to advanced, and then near the very bottom, about the 4th tab up under system, so the 2nd tab down from system, use hardware acceleration when available. Turn that off. It should say relaunch, which if you do that, your Google will close and then this video should continue when you launch back up. So make sure hardware acceleration is off on Google as well as Discord. Okay, so for the next one, go to power options, power and sleep settings. Once you are here, go to the right hand side, additional power settings, and then there should be a lot of options. You want to pick your highest performance. There could be ultimate performance. I use my AMD Ryzen high performance, which is customized specifically for my AMD. So make sure just to have like the high performance and not balanced. So high performance for your power options, which is very important. So if you go to MS config, a system configuration, this should come up. Click on this, and then there's going to be 5 tabs. Go to the one called boot, so the 2nd tab along called boot. Then go to advanced options right here, and then a number of processes. I think this is unchecked at first. Make sure to check this and then pick the highest number available. Yours could be 8, yours could be 4, mine is 12. The highest is 16, I believe. So make sure to pick the highest available, click OK, apply, and OK. It should say to restart. Mine's already on 12, so do that when necessary. Okay, now that is done, for the final one, we are going to be going over the Nvidia control panel. Some things I have changed from the last video, so let's take a look here. So for the first thing, I think I got wrong as well. I said to, I'm not sure if I said this, but some people have this on and then they go to performance. Yes, you're going to think, oh, it says performance, let's do that. But no, you're going to want to use the advanced 3D image settings. So if you do this and do performance, Nvidia will just do its own stuff to create the best performance. But you're going to want to use your own settings to create the best performance. And then you want to edit your 3D image settings, which you go to just a tab below, go to program settings, and then you can add a program, which multiple programs should come up, and then you can find Rainbow Six Siege. If you do now play Vulkan, the Vulkan version of Rainbow Six Siege, make sure to add that one rather than the normal one. So there is 2 rainbows. So this is the test server for the Rainbow. This is the normal version of Rainbow Six Siege. And how can you tell? You can tell because if you hover over it, there should be a thing, and at the end of the file path it should say, if it says rainbow6.exe, that's the normal one. If it says test server Rainbow Six exe, that's the test server, of course. And this one here is the Vulkan version. I use the Vulkan version, so I'm going to add that one. And then these are my settings. So make sure this is off, off, on, off for the first 4 anti-aliasings. Low latency mode, you want to put to ultra. This makes it so you have the least amount of input lag within Rainbow Six Siege, whilst also maintaining the good FPS. For your monitor technology, I have a G-Sync monitor, so I have it set to G-Sync. If you don't, just set it to fixed refresh. For the OpenGL, just make sure it's set to your actual graphics card and not accidentally set to anything else. Power management mode you want to put to prefer maximum performance. Shader cache you want to have on. The one below shader cache you want to have on. This makes it so there is high performance in the game with minimal loss of image quality. Negative LOD bias allow quality, high performance on and on. So threaded optimization on, trilinear optimizations on. And for vertical sync, I usually have on here because it doesn't make too much of a difference in game and it just makes the game smoother within Rainbow Six Siege, whilst also maintaining the least amount of input lag. So make sure vertical sync is on in here but off in game. You can turn it off in here, but it's just going to make your game not so smooth and it just won't feel right. So this is everything to get the best FPS within Rainbow Six Siege and overall just create a better performance for you within Rainbow Six Siege. So that is everything. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope I helped some of you out. I hope you all have a wonderful day and I love you all and goodbye.